What if you opened your eyes and your first breath wasn't in a hospital, but in the middle of a forest? No name, no language, no fire, just mud, hunger, and eyes watching you in the dark. This isn't science fiction. This is what your life could have been if you were born 100,000 years ago. Would you survive? Would you lead a tribe? Or would you be eaten before your first sunrise? Let's go back, way back, and see what your life really would have looked like. Imagine waking up not to an alarm clock, but to the chill of wind cutting through your shelter of animal hides. No soft bed, no cozy blanket, just the earth beneath you and the sounds of predators nearby. You're 100,000 years in the past. You're not dreaming. You were born here, and from the moment you open your eyes, you have one job: survive. No Google, no stores, no walls to hide behind. You're barefoot. Your only tools? Sharp stones and whatever sticks you can find. You don't even have a name. Your tribe might not even use words the way we do. Food. That depends on your luck and instincts. You forage for berries, praying they're not poisonous. You spot footprints in the mud. Maybe a deer, or maybe a lion. You have to decide fast, with no second chances. Your body? Lean, muscular, hardened by the wild. You walk miles every day, climb trees, cross rivers, carry firewood on your back. You've never seen a doctor, never tasted sugar, never heard music, unless you count the whistle of wind or the rhythm of a heartbeat during a hunt. The air? Fresher than anything today, but don't get too comfortable. A sudden cough could mean infection. No antibiotics, no rescue. If you fall sick, the tribe might leave you behind. It's brutal, but it's the only way they survive too. Your mind is sharp. Not in the modern sense of solving puzzles or reading books, but in sensing danger, reading tracks, and staying alive. Every moment is now. Every choice matters. This is your reality. Welcome to day 1. Let's start with the weather. No jackets. No umbrellas. When it rains, you're wet. When it freezes, you shiver. Hypothermia isn't a theory. It's a constant threat. If your fire goes out, you better pray lightning strikes nearby again soon. Otherwise, your nights are numbered. Next, animals. This is the age of megafauna. Giant predators rule this world. Saber-toothed cats. Hyenas the size of lions. Packs of dire wolves. Even herbivores like aurochs or mammoths could crush you without blinking. You can't relax. Even drinking water becomes dangerous. Crocodiles lurk, bacteria waits. One wrong gulp and you could be vomiting yourself to death with no one to save you. Then there's injury. Twist your ankle while climbing a rocky slope. You'll fall behind, and falling behind means death. Cut your hand. That wound could fester. There's no soap, no medicine. Even a tiny infection could kill. And what about other humans? Not everyone you meet is friendly. Other tribes compete for territory, food, and water. You don't just fear the beasts, you fear strangers. They might attack on sight. You have no laws, no police, no second chances. Even your own tribe may not protect you forever. If you slow them down, if you're too weak, too sick, too old, they might leave you. Not because they don't care, but because they have to survive too. This world isn't fair. It isn't kind. It doesn't care if you cry or scream. It will swallow you whole if you hesitate. So you learn fast. You learn to sharpen bones into weapons. You learn to feel the wind shift before the storm. You learn to run when you hear a growl. You learn that life is not guaranteed. Because in this world, the moment you stop learning is the moment you die. In a world this brutal, one thing becomes crystal clear. You cannot survive alone. The tribe is your heartbeat, your protection, your only chance. You hunt together, you sleep together, you defend each other from predators and enemies. When you're hungry, someone shares their last bite. When you're wounded, someone helps carry you. Alone, you're prey. Together, you're a force. And it's not just about food or fire. It's about connection. The tribe passes on stories, chants, songs. Around the fire, elders share what they know: which berries kill, where the lions nest, how to track a herd without being seen. That's your school, your internet, your entire archive of survival. And you listen, not for entertainment, but because forgetting could mean death. The bonds run deep. When a child cries, all hands comfort. When someone dies, the group mourns together. This isn't luxury, it's necessity. Even disagreements are dangerous. One argument too loud, and you split the group. Split the group, and you might not last another week. This world doesn't reward selfishness, it punishes it. Here's the truth. In the Paleolithic age, being the strongest doesn't make you the fittest. Being the most united does. The tribe is your armor, your compass, your home. Lose it, and you're as good as gone. They didn't have much, but what they had, they used brilliantly. It starts with stone, hard, sharp, cold. A rock isn't just a rock. To a Paleolithic human, it's a knife, a hammer, an axe, a spearhead. They didn't just pick up stones, they shaped them. They knew which ones would flake, which ones would snap, which ones would cut. And these tools, they changed everything. With stone tools, they could skin animals faster, cut deeper, hunt bigger prey. They began to control nature, piece by piece. But then came the biggest breakthrough of all, fire. Not just finding it, but keeping it, feeding it, carrying it. Imagine the first time they saw lightning strike and a branch caught fire, or lava lit a forest ablaze. And instead of running, they watched, they waited. Then they stole the flame. And everything changed. Fire meant warmth in the cold, protection from predators, light in the darkness. Cooked food, safer, softer, more nutritious. With fire, they stretched their day into the night. They became predators with night vision. But here's the dark truth. Adapting isn't peaceful. It's war. Fires needed fuel, wood, dried grass, bones. That meant conflict. If another tribe found your fire pit, you had a choice: fight, flee, or die. And tools? They weren't just for hunting animals. They became weapons against each other. Progress came with blood. Still, the need to adapt never stopped. They discovered needles made from bone to stitch animal skins into clothing. They invented spears and atlatls to kill from a distance. They learned to store meat with smoke, to track animals through snow, to read the sky for seasons. They weren't just surviving, they were evolving. And not just their tools, but their minds. The smarter you were, the better you adapted, the longer you lived. This was the Paleolithic arms race. Every invention gave them an edge or wiped them out. It was never just about strength. It was about being clever, fast, brutal if needed. And always, always ready for the next challenge. Imagine living each day, knowing it might be your last. Every noise in the dark could mean danger. A growl in the bushes, a predator, a broken twig, a rival tribe, a change in the wind, a coming storm. There were no maps, no medicine, no guarantee of tomorrow. And when someone died, they were gone. No warning, no explanation, just silence. But humans, even then, couldn't accept nothingness. That's when belief began. You can almost see it, the first funeral. The tribe gathers. They dig into the frozen earth. They place the body gently, sometimes with tools, or beads, or flowers. Why? Maybe they believed in an afterlife. Maybe they feared the spirit staying behind. Maybe it was simply grief, wrapped in ritual. But whatever it was, it meant something. These early humans, they weren't just animals. They were beginning to wonder, where do we go when we die? Why do we hurt? What is out there in the dark? They painted on cave walls, animals, handprints, symbols. Was it art? Worship? Memory? A warning? We don't know. But we know this: fear shaped them. Fear of the dark, fear of death, fear of being forgotten. And it pushed them to tell stories, around the fire, beneath the stars, while the wolves howled in the distance. Maybe that's where myth was born. A lion that walks like a man, a spirit in the wind, a god who brings the sun each morning. And as fear gave rise to story, story gave rise to meaning. Even in that brutal world, they found a way to feel human. They didn't have cities. They didn't have kings. They didn't have peace. But they had fire. They had tools. They had each other. And in the end, that was enough. So next time you're warm, full, and safe in your bed, remember, you come from people who survived a world you couldn't handle for 5 minutes. They built you, with blood, with fire, with fear. In a world where survival means unity, don't just watch, feel it. Subscribe now for more raw, emotional journeys into humanity's earliest battles. Every image, every story, brings you closer to where we began. Join the tribe. Stay alive.